Day 2 of hunting, day 3 of the video series. As you can see, I mean, it's beautiful outside. A little bit warmer today. It's like, I think like 40 degrees. Yesterday was like 25 in the morning. So a little bit warmer. We found the buck that we found yesterday, that 3x4, kind of like a whitetail 3 with a split on the thirds. So super nice buck. We found him again this morning. Kind of waiting for the wind to develop to see what we're gonna do. So found the buck, and we also found a stranger here. Look at this. Look at this guy. Hey guys. Hey. Does he have the same hat as me?
Well, let me tell you what. I don't want to give Bruce any free ads here, and it's a bow and arrow shop hat.
Yeah.
But I've only taken one deer, and I was wearing this hat, so I have no choice but to keep wearing this hat until something changes.
That's true.
So if someone's got to change, it's got to be you.
And here's the problem for me. My hunting hat I don't like to wear when I'm hunting. Right now I'm not hunting, so I only have 2 hats.
Ooh.
So Bruce, you're welcome for the next few videos. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just get stuck with a hat whether you like it or not.
It's true.
I know what it's like to be stuck with a hat.
A little update. It is 8:30 in the morning right now. Matt and Tove went up this hill to... There's some really good stuff on the other side of the hill, so they hiked up there and they're glassing off the other side. I'm in our initial spot, glassing the target buck that we spotted yesterday, and just kind of watching him and trying to see where he goes, hopefully to bed down. It's pretty cool, so I think they're going to be up for a while, so we don't want to waste time and have 3 people looking at him. And this hill they went up is really steep and rocky, so I didn't really want to go up there with my wrist the way it is, just because I've had bad falls on that exact hill before. So I'm sitting here glassing, keeping tabs on this buck. There's actually 2 bucks in the group, one medium buck and then one really nice buck. So that's what's going on. Beautiful morning. Been actually pretty slow other than this group of deer. It's a big group. There's probably like 15 and a couple bucks, but other than that I haven't seen any deer, any javelina, but I have seen a few coyotes. So fun morning, beautiful out, hoping the wind picks up, and we'll see what we can get into.
Well, it's a little bit after 10 o'clock right now. James has been following the buck in a group we saw this morning. He tracked him to some water and then off to a little bedding area. It looks like we think we saw the buck. Pretty sure bed down behind a bush, and everything else, the other ones are kind of around that. So Ted's on his way out there. Last time we checked in with him, he was about 100 yards, 120 yards from where we think the buck is. So he's going to close the gap down a little bit and be ready for when the buck gets up. So we'll check back with you when we have an update.
Spotted the big buck early this morning with some glasses from a distance away, and we watched him, and we split up, and James watched the big buck go with a herd of about maybe a total of 20 deer, and they walked to a water point and sucked down a bunch of water, and then they headed off in a different direction than we expected. So James not chased them down, but got to a different point and glassed them up, and then we all got over there. We watched them bed down. Sure enough, it was that time of day, and the wind was decent, the approach was decent, so I was elected to go, and I gave it my best shot. Got to about 200 yards away, and I switched over to my sneaks, and I could have used a little more wind. There was a good direction in the wind. It was consistent, but it wasn't very strong. So out here in the desert, super hard to walk quietly, even with my sneaks on. And I got within about 45 yards of 2 of the does, and I didn't know they were there. And they stood up. They weren't too scared, but they started looking my direction. And I sat there quite a while to try to wait them out, and then more of them started to stand up. A nice big forky came within about 60 yards, and I never moved. I was just watching what was happening. And out where from where the first two does stood up, finally as the deer started to walk off, and one of them even snorted a little bit, then the buck sort of jumped up with the doe, and was just, he wasn't super scared, but he was going too fast for me to shoot, and he was only like, where he was bedded was only like 45 yards from me, but it was thick stuff and I couldn't see him. So I watched him run away. I got to see him pretty close, but I got a tag in my pocket still, so I'll give it another try.
All right.
Alrighty folks, it is windy out, but after the morning hunt we decided to split off. So Tove and Matt are hunting together at one spot, hitting the glasses and seeing what comes together this afternoon. I went off separately just to check out some areas that we haven't looked at as thoroughly this year or in years past, and as you guys just saw, I ran into a pretty good bachelor group of bucks. I think there was like 5 bucks and one really nice 4x4. So far an exciting evening. A little tougher to glass when it's super windy, but good old tripods help a lot, that's for sure. So we're gonna keep glassing. Got about another hour and a half, see what we can see, and then come up with a strategy for tomorrow morning. But we're excited, I'm excited, and it'll be good to hear what those guys got into tonight. So I'm gonna quit yapping and get back on the glasses.
All right, well, for the afternoon we split up. James went off, did some glassing since he didn't have a tag, and Tove and I sat a classic spot, and like always saw quite a few deer. Saw 20 plus deer out in the field and a couple up on the hills. So super windy today, didn't get a chance to put a stalk in, but learned a lot and saw and verified what we thought might be happening with the pattern with some deer. So feeling pretty good about the next couple days, and should be able to get in them at least and have a chance. So that'll wrap up tonight, and we'll be back early tomorrow and go at it again.